Hi, my name is Musto, and today I will be talking to you about should you choose Phnom Penh or Siem Reap? Well, I have been in Cambodia for over 10 years, and Siem Reap was the first place that I have been to in Cambodia. So back in 2010, when I flew to Thailand with my family, I moved from Bangkok through Poi Phet on the border between Cambodia and Thailand to Siem Reap. So I lived in Siem Reap for 1 year, and I also studied in Siem Reap for 1 year. So I have the experience of both Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, but I have been the remaining of my stay in Cambodia in Phnom Penh, so I know well both Siem Reap and Phnom Penh. So this is a question that many travelers might ask themselves: where is it better? Is it better in Phnom Penh or is it better in Siem Reap? Well, you have to understand first of all your purpose to Cambodia. So if your purpose in Cambodia is for traveling, then Siem Reap is the best choice, because Siem Reap is a nice laid-back town. There's river, and yes, it's busy with tourists, both locals and international tourists. Recently, there has been a big influx of Cambodian tourists, local tourists. So in every major holiday, you will see Cambodian people from Phnom Penh, from other provinces, traveling to Siem Reap, because Siem Reap has many attractions, many things to see. As you know, Angkor Wat, the Angkorian temples, Phnom Kulen Mountain, Kabal Spin, or the River of the Thousand Lingas. Actually, my favorite place in Siem Reap, even though it's a bit laid back. Bante Srey, and different lakes, borees that are a bit outside of the town, and many resorts where you can relax, you can have a picnic. The Cambodian cultural village, where I also took a video when I went with my close Cambodian friend. Actually a very nice place to go, where you can learn about Cambodian culture and also the ethnicity, the history, and there are many activities for kids, for families, and a great place to go. So like I said, if you are traveling to Cambodia and you have a choice between Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, I do suggest you to go to Siem Reap, because Siem Reap has so many things to do and see. But if you intend to live in Cambodia for a long term, like you plan to find a job, most jobs that are paid well are in Phnom Penh, and most big businesses are actually established in Phnom Penh, because Phnom Penh is the financial capital of the country. All embassies, consulates are in Phnom Penh. So Phnom Penh is the big economical and financial capital of the country. Siem Reap is the cultural capital of Cambodia, but Phnom Penh is the economical capital. So many people from different provinces in Cambodia, they move to Phnom Penh to find a job, to live for a better life. So that's why the population of Phnom Penh has risen to 2,080,000 people from the last census. And Siem Reap is still a small town, 140,000 people. So at the moment, it's the fourth largest town or city in Cambodia, behind Battambang and Sihanoukville. And if we talk about the nature, the weather, Siem Reap is much better than Phnom Penh, because there are many trees, many parks, many green areas. The traffic actually has increased in Siem Reap, but the traffic in Phnom Penh is already bad, but in Siem Reap is becoming more and more busy because of the influx of local travelers from Phnom Penh and other provinces traveling to Siem Reap. And yes, I can say that Siem Reap is growing. There are many hotels, there are many guest houses, many new businesses that have opened. So if you would ask me how did it change compared to 10 years ago when I first came, it changed tremendously, and there are so many new hotels, buildings in Siem Reap. But still, there are many trees, there are many forests, there are many things to see and do. So the weather, the air is better in Siem Reap. But the thing that Siem Reap does not have is the hospitals, the schools. And that is also the reason why I moved from Siem Reap to Phnom Penh, because the level of education that I had to continue from my high school had to be in Phnom Penh, because at that time there weren't many schools in Siem Reap for my level. But recently more schools have been open in Siem Reap as well, so it's changing. But still there are more schools and universities in Phnom Penh, and there are also many banks, bureaucratic things, because all government buildings are in Phnom Penh. But Siem Reap is still a great place to live, and actually Siem Reap is slightly cheaper than Phnom Penh, slightly cheaper, I can tell you. And yes, there are many foreigners in Siem Reap, of course. Siem Reap is the tourism capital of Cambodia, so tourists all around the world come to visit Angkor Wat. But of course, the situation of COVID-19 has affected Siem Reap. If you want to travel to Cambodia and you don't have much time to visit the whole country, then go to Siem Reap, because Siem Reap has all the major attractions and activities to do for you in Cambodia. But Phnom Penh is also not bad, because it's also the capital of the country. There are also many nice places to visit, such as the Royal Palace, the Wat Phnom National Museum, the Genocide Museum, and Killing Field. So it depends your purpose. You have to know your purpose in Cambodia. Accommodation is also a bit cheaper in Siem Reap, because there are many cheap rooms, guest houses, hotels, because there is more competition. So actually in Siem Reap you can get a nice villa for under $300, but in Phnom Penh you might pay more because it's the capital. So Siem Reap is slightly cheaper than Phnom Penh, but Phnom Penh has more opportunities because it's a bigger city, it's the capital of the country. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please like the video, share it to your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the notification button. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.